Today I started a brand new hardcore playthrough in Palworld, and it got me thinking. I've realized there are so many incredibly useful PALs that I originally thought you could only get in the late game, but have realized you can actually get at the beginning of your playthrough. It's a little bit of a sneaky way to be able to do this because you really shouldn't be able to get them until much later, but through the powers of crossbreeding, we're able to get some of the best PALs in the game early. And when I say some of the best PALs in the game early, I mean within the first few hours of playing. This is going to drastically increase the speed at which you can get through Palworld because you're going to have your base completely taken care of, you're going to have some extremely powerful PALs, and you can focus on progression the way that you want to without having to worry about anything else. Now the first PAL we're going to be going over is the key to everything, and that is Anubis. Typically you would not be able to get this PAL until level 47 or higher. It is an alpha level 47 boss that is actually incredibly difficult to defeat. But through the power of crossbreeding, we can actually get it early. And by early I mean I'm level 17 right now. I have no right to be getting Anubis, but here we are. Now, believe it or not, you can actually make an Anubis by breeding a Relaxosaurus with a Celeray. Yeah, a Celeray, literally one of the weakest PALs in the game. And Relaxosaurus is derpy. I just don't even know. We are currently on our new dedicated server where we're playing on a hard mode playthrough. And man, dedicated servers are a bit of a mess right now, but I'm gonna stick one of these cakes in here and we should instantly get our egg. Now this is a huge rocky egg, and inside of this bad boy is going to be our first Anubis. Now we just got done incubating our first huge rocky egg. And wham bam, thank you ma'am. Oh my god, we got an Anubis with Swift and Runner on it as well as Aggressive. That is absolutely insane, because this is actually going to come in really handy with the other things we're going to be using Anubis for. You can see we've got Handiwork level 4, Transporting level 2, and Mining level 3. This is an absolute monster of a PAL. Being able to get Anubis at the beginning of the game is so unbelievably overpowered for a multitude of reasons. We say we want to craft this 3-shot bow. Look how fast he's going to be able to craft it for us, just pretty much instantaneously. That is the benefit of having that handicraft level, and when you start leveling up to the higher tier things, the crafting can literally take forever and you have to spend a lot of time sitting at the base or waiting for things to craft up, and it's not really an enjoyable experience, so being able to get that so quick is incredibly helpful. You can also take Anubis, and he's a great miner. A level 3 miner at the beginning of the game is almost broken. There are a couple other great miners that you can get with level 3 mining, but you can very easily get yourself a team of Anubis and a entry-level mining base and start getting a significant boost to your potential in the server. Now the crazier thing is how powerful Anubis actually is. An HP stat of 120, melee attack of 130, magic attack of 130, and defense of 100. Honestly, pretty ridiculous. Compared to every other PAL that you can get early in the game, this thing blows everything out of the water. I mean, heck, we can look at Blazamut here, who's got 100 HP, 150 melee attack, 125 magic attack, and 120 defense. Frostallion, which is a legendary PAL with 140 HP, 100 melee attack, 140 magic attack, and 120 defense. You are getting a very endgame PAL that's just going to make your life so much easier. Now, not only that, but this is going to unlock lots of other breeding potential within the game for us. Now, right now we've got this Van Wyrum in our breeding pen, and we've got it breeding with an Anubis, which I don't know where the Anubis went. It seems to have disappeared. Now, the Anubis and the Van Wyrum are going to lay a huge scorching egg. I've already got one in the incubator, and inside of this wonderful egg is going to be a magnificent surprise. The passive skills you're going to be looking for all the PALs that are going to be focused strictly on base stuff, the main one is going to be Artisan for a work speed plus 50%. Workaholic is also okay for sanity drops 15% slower. You can also get Lucky for a work speed plus 15%. If you want to get crazy, you can add Work Slave for a work speed increase of plus 30%. Then you'll also be looking for Serious with a work speed increase of plus 20%. Now that egg we just hatched from the Anubis and Van Wyrum will hatch a PAL called Phalaris. This is the fastest flying mount that you can get until you start taming the legendary PALs at the end of the game. So you'll be able to start breeding for these a lot earlier, but also it has level 3 kindling and level 3 transporting. So from this combination, you're getting one of the fastest mounts in the game, It's going to significantly improve your ability to cook cakes and everything else in the game, as well as forge up all of your ingots. And it's got level 3 transporting, which is going to come in super handy for any base where you're actually farming up a lot of resources. The only downside to this is that you're not going to be able to unlock the saddle to ride it until level 38, but otherwise it's going to be incredibly useful until then. Now, for instance, our Polaris right here is cooking up some cake with level 3 kindling, and it is a beast. Now, to be fair, we are using the upgraded version of the pot, so this is already going to make it cook quite a bit faster, but having Polaris on here with level 3 kindling is really amazing as well. Honestly, the only PAL better is Jormuntide Ignis. I know it's pronounced Jormuntide, but it feels weird to say it that way. It does have level 4 kindling, but honestly, the thing is so large, it gets stuck all the time. It's a freaking nightmare to have. It is better, but I find myself not using it that much anymore because of how often it gets stuck. So really, getting this wonderful bird boy right here is going to make your life so much easier. And now we're hatching our first egg, and oh yes, we transferred Swift on there at least onto the Polaris. And just being able to get these higher level PALs so early in the game is actually just really, really amazing. So now we can take this bad boy at our new base and we can replace this poor Foxbarks that's trying to make an ingot, and we can do a lot better. That's right, Polaris. Make us those ingots so much faster. Oh my goodness. My partner in crime is going to be very... Oh, you already stole the ingots! didn't even give me a moment to cherish the work that I've been putting into all this breeding. There is one downside to Polaris, though. I can't ride it yet, but if you kind of look at the back end, it looks like a Thanksgiving turkey. Like, it's a Thanksgiving turkey with really pretty tail and wings, but the body definitely looks like a turkey or a chicken, and I just can't unsee it. Now for the next PAL we need to cover, if you breed a Rush Roar with a Nightwing, both early game PALs that you can get, and you throw them in a breeding pen, they are going to lay a huge verdant egg. Now inside of this egg, you're going to be able to hatch a Petalia. This is the second best planting PAL in the game. It has planting level 3, handiwork level 2, gathering level 2, medicine level 2, and transporting level 1. This is an absolutely great PAL. Now, you could stop here if you so desired, because this is really amazing on its own. But if you go get yourself a Masanda, which is also a great PAL to get with planting level 2, handiwork 2, lumbering 2, and transporting level 3, if you breed this with the Petalia, you can get yourself this magnificent creature, Lylene. Lylene has planting level 3, handiwork 3, gathering 2, and medicine production level 3. This is going to be the end-all be-all of your food requirements for your base. You'll be able to plant and harvest everything you need on your base, and your pals will never run out of food ever again. Now last but certainly not least, if you take a Nightwing and breed it with an Incineram, and for those of you that don't know, you can get an Incineram really early if you go from the Plateau of Beginnings and you navigate across this road and up towards the King Paka. You can go to where my main metal base was back in the OG playthrough. And if you head to this location right here, where there is a skill fruit tree, as you kind of progress up this mountain, you're going to find some humans. Those humans will actually whip out an Incineram, and you can steal it from them, catch it, and use it for yourself. If you catch this Incineram early, you're going to be able to get a nice new egg that's going to be super helpful. Now, if we hatch said large damp egg, we get an Azurobe. Probably mispronouncing that per usual. But Azurobe is a pretty decent PAL. The reason that I like this is for the watering level 3. There is only one PAL better at watering than Azurobe, and that is Jormuntide at level 4 watering. But the thing is so big, it often gets in the way and it gets stuck. The big PALs get stuck in this game, so I try and go with the small ones if possible. You also can't get Jormuntide until higher level, and Azurobe you can get super early, so why not? And the main thing is it focuses solely on water. This means your plants are always going to be watered, and anytime you queue up anything in either the mill or the crusher, your stuff is always going to get crushed and your mills are always going to get milled, which is super beneficial. I really like using PALs that are solely focused on certain things rather than trying to do a whole bunch of things at once, because they're often running all over the place and not getting anything particularly done well. Now that is everything I have to go over for today's video on all of the best PALs you should get as soon as possible. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.